Yeah, I got him as number 2 on my list of all-time rappers. I talked about this yesterday, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Like, out of respect to the great Rocky in my life, I won't put anybody ahead of him. I don't think that I'll ever do that. I don't think anybody could take that spot. But Biggie, man, I mean, this dude, and you'll hear it all day long today, man, as we pay homage to the great Biggie Smalls on the Doug Stewart Show. Yeah. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. But the big news today in the world of sports is Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys telling Tony Romo to kick rocks. No more Romo. That's right, no more Romo. Tony Romo will soon no longer be a Dallas Cowboy. The Cowboys will release the franchise all-time leader in passing yards and touchdowns on Thursday. Jones told Romo that he had waited to determine whether another team might offer the Cowboys something in trade for the often injured quarterback. When that failed to occur following the NFL scouting combine, Jones told Romo he would release him and make him a June 1st designation, which will save the Cowboys $14 million against the cap this year. The release of Romo, who turns 37 in April, does not come as a surprise, although it was a move that pained Jerry Jones seemingly because of the close relationship that he and the dude had for 14 years. A very creepy relationship, if you ask me. Right, we'll talk more about that in a second, but a very creepy relationship, if you ask me. Romo's rise to the top of the Cowboys' all-time passing chart started as an undrafted free agent out of Eastern Illinois in 2013 or 2003. He got a much bigger signing bonus from the Denver Broncos at the time to join the Cowboys, but he decided to join the Cowboys. Did y'all know that? Did y'all know that he had a chance as an undrafted free agent? He had a bigger deal on the table as far as a free agent to go to Denver, and he decided to not take that and sign with the Dallas Cowboys. In his first full season that started in 2007, Romo threw for a then-record 4,211 yards, a mark that he would set twice more in his career, and franchise record 36 touchdown passes. The Cowboys finished with the best record in the NFC, 13-3, but lost in the divisional round of the playoffs. And from there on, it continued to go downhill for the Cowboys and Tony Romo. Yeah, I'm petty. Let's be honest now. Let me stop right there for a second. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Outside of that year, I mean, it hadn't gotten any better. As a matter of fact, you can easily make the argument that it continued to go down for Tony Romo and the Dallas Cowboys. This was back in 2007. Think about all of the heartache and disappointment Dallas Cowboy fans have had to endure since Tony Romo has become the starter of that team. Romo has a career record of 78-49, slightly better than average, but he was never able to get the Cowboys past the divisional round of the playoffs in only 4 playoff appearances. Oh, that's right. Yeah, never able to get the Cowboys past the divisional round of the playoffs in 4 playoff appearances. He's got a ton of yards. We'll get to all of that stuff here in a second, man. And one of my boys, my homeboy, Seabrook, I'm not going to call his first name, but a lot of y'all know who that is because he's got a very unique name, a last name. My homeboy, Seabrook, big Cowboy fan, and he posted yesterday all of this sob story and, kind of remembrance, and waxing poetic about Tony Romo in the years. Man, Tony Romo ain't shit. Now, let me be honest with you. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Let me be honest with y'all. Most of y'all know how I feel about Tony Romo, but we always got to remember we got new listeners to the show. Not a fan of Tony Romo. Not a fan of Tony Romo. But quarterback-wise, I will say and acknowledge that Romo's been one of the best 32 quarterbacks in the world for like the last 10-plus years. He has. I mean, the numbers don't lie to a large degree. You can't take that away from him. You know, he's been solid most of the times. And there's a lot of numbers out there that shows that he actually isn't as bad as we think in clutch situations. But those clutch situations do come into conversation. Yeah. Those clutch situation letdowns do come into the conversation with Tony Romo. Very much so, as they came into conversation, at least for me, and I think a lot of people tried to downplay it a lot, for his hero, his boyhood idol, childhood idol, and Brett Favre. Like Romo, man, when I think of Tony Romo, I think of real clutch times where he needed to step up and he threw the ball to the other team. Yeah. That's what I think of. That's what I think of, just like his hero, Brett Favre. Yeah, same type of guy. As quick as Romo would put up a lot of stats and win a lot of games in some years, Romo would lose games for you, man. I mean, just it seems like bad timing on a lot of the big losses and clutch games, clutch situations. Tony Romo was that guy. And let me say this as well. I mean, he's got all of these yards. He's got 34,183 passing yards. 248 touchdown passes are the most in team history. But I always ask Dallas Cowboy fans this. If you had your choice, would you take Roger Staubach? Would you take Tony Romo? Would you take Troy Aikman? Hell, maybe you take Danny White before you take Tony Romo. I think that you take all of those other quarterbacks, maybe even Danny White, punter turned quarterback. You might even take all those quarterbacks, including Danny White, before you took Tony Romo. So a lot of his stats, a lot of his stats are good. They're cute or whatever, man. But a lot of those stats are just that. They're just stats. They're hollow. Stats lie all the time. They do. Like you clearly, if you watch the games, and you watch the play on the field, Troy Aikman is infinitely better than Tony Romo. Infinitely better. If you remember Troy Aikman, man, Troy Aikman used to put that ball straight in the middle of the chest of Michael Irvin and Jay Novacek and all of them cats like that, man. I mean, Aikman was a phenomenal quarterback. Staubach was a great quarterback as well. And the big thing about it, and maybe this is me and the old school of me, because I was raised up like, man, if you put the ball on the ground, your ass is going to the bench. You know, my head coach in JV, Allen Watson, continued to tell me that over and over. Douglas, you're a good football player, but you keep putting the ball on the ground. We can't have that. You can't have that. You're good and you're shifty, but you just can't hold on to the ball. And so that's been beat in my brain, ingrained in me from Little League. And, man, Romo, man, and Brett Favre and all of these cats, man, when they throw the ball to the other team, man, that's not good, bottom line. So the conversation now is, where is Romo going to end up? You know my thoughts on that. He's going to end up somewhere. And the way it sounds, he's going to end up in either Houston or Denver. But, I mean, what? Over and under, Tony Romo plays 2 games for whatever team he goes to this year. I'm saying 2 games. What's the over and under Tony Romo playing more than 2 games? I might take the damn under. Right. I'll take the under. It's no fault of his. He's just old, and he's just beat up, and he's just decrepit, and he's shot. That man takes one good hit from an outside linebacker, blitzing defensive end on his blind side. It's a RAP. It's a RAP. It's a RAP. So, I mean, this is the big conversation today. We'll talk more about it. I know there's a ton of Dallas Cowboy fans that listen to the show, that listen to all sports talk radio, period. So, Romo's gone. And this is good for me. This is another win for me. I called this when we talked about this and all this conversation about Romo coming up. Jerry Jones, as much as he seems to have this creepy love affair with Tony Romo, at the end of the day, he couldn't pay Tony Romo the money that he was owed and have him sit on the bench. He couldn't start him. Maybe he wanted to start him, but he just couldn't start him based on what Dak Prescott had done this year. And no team was going to trade for a broke-down, decrepit, shot Tony Romo, 36-year-old quarterback. So this had to happen. This had to happen. And it was a bad situation, a bad scenario for Tony Romo, but it is what it is. This is sports. You got to move on. Kind of like a perfect example of why I'm mad with the Lakers giving Kobe Bryant that damn sweetheart deal they gave him for the last 3 years of his career. The man got hurt 3 years in a row. Didn't finish the game 3 years in a row. The season 3 years in a row. And they gave him, $25 million a year just because it's Kobe Bryant? Man, cats are asked to leave all the time. Some of the greatest athletes in our lifetimes had to finish their careers with other teams. And this is no different with Tony Romo. Dallas Cowboy fans, you got a lot of great memories of the dude, but your owner did the right thing. He did the only thing he could do and let this cat go. We'll see what happens with Tony Romo. Want to get your thoughts on it today, 404-382-0338. You can also email me at Doug@theDougStewartShow.com. Yeah. We'll jump into the chat room, get some of your thoughts. A lot of free agent news to get into as far as signings. A couple of big ones, as a matter of fact, in the last couple of hours. We'll get into that. We'll read a lot of your chat. Today we pay homage to the great Biggie Smalls. It's going to be a fun show as usual. Yes, sir. Yeah. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at Doug@theDougStewartShow.com. If you're new to the Doug Stewart Show, man, thank you for tuning in. Hour number 2, little entertainment report, entertainment conversation, birthdays, and, entertainment story or two. Free Big Worm. Yeah. Big Worm for real, huh? That just wasn't a damn character that he played in a movie. Big Worm for real. We're going to talk about that. We'll get into that, man, in hour number 2. Hour number 3, we call it the Power Hour, where we focus on a lot of the chat messages from the Stewies in the chat room on Spreaker.com. A lot of fun, man. Don't go away. Back in 3 minutes, the Doug Stewart Show.
Keep it going. Keep working it and working it, working it and working it. Still don't stop, rise high, sky's the limit. Keep your eyes open, never hoping, steady scoping. Looking for ways to get paid, nothing's for joking. Like to laugh or mail, get your stuff while you stand still. And you couldn't believe that thoughts do achieve to bring reality. Most do work to get salary, like hurt worse than battery and agony. Whatever gotta do, feed your family. World is a tragedy, a mixed up events and formalities. No flattery, all against the grain to ease pain. To suffer is short, so maintain what you want in your life. Get it, set goals and trends, set it. By no means let it lose sight, don't forget it. Bless the child, my words known poetic. Extremes to rep it. One life, love, I live it in blaze with vision. Laser maze, craze the rhythm, engage the mission. On my own post position, what you like, what you want, what you like. It's keep it going. Keep working it and working it, working it and working it. Still don't stop, rise high, sky's the limit. What you like, what you want, what you like. It's keep it going. Keep working it and working it, working it and working it. Still don't don't stop, rise high, sky's the limit. Only made one.